to episode number 26 of the Reseller Stew. Today we're going to talk about eBay and Amazon myths. And we're not talking about like conspiracies like the red door and all that stuff. We're going to talk about like just common misconceptions or things that you keep hearing people say over and over again, but they're really just not quite true. And this is just based off our own personal experience, so, you know, take the information as you want to. I ain't gonna be responsible for you if you listen to us and then you're like, you know. We are here for entertainment purposes only. Little asterisk disclaimer, contact your attorney or something. How y'all doing this week?
Okay.
Doing good.
Well, y'all are just busting out. Awesome. Today is my daughter's birthday. She turned 9.
Aww.
My baby is 9. I know. I saw a meme yesterday that was talking about like 35-year-olds with newborns changing diapers and staying up late, and it's like all my kids are grown and can make their own food and whatever. That was the meme, and I'm like, that's me. like I'm 35 and my daughter can my baby can get up and make her own breakfast and go take a shower, and she puts her clothes away. She can do her laundry since we got a new washer and it's front load instead of top because she couldn't reach before.
That is so cool.
Yeah. I can imagine starting over with a newborn. Could you imagine having a newborn?
No.
Could you imagine having a newborn?
Calm yourself.
April, you trying to have a newborn?
No, but I have a toddler. It's not that much.
I know, but could you imagine having a newborn?
Just had one 2 years ago.
I couldn't imagine. Just no. Mm-mm.
No, I wouldn't do it all over again. No way.
Oh, no. What's up, Chunky Butt? Come here and say hi. I just told him it was your birthday today. You can send presents to P.O. Box 203-521, Austin, Texas.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yep. And then her sister and brother will be here at 4:30. They're flying in from Virginia, so it's a big old day.
It's going to be a big party.
Oh, Bonafide Hustler said, I can't imagine having a newborn, no baby Bonafides here. You know you could strap them. I have a hiking baby backpack just for you, Chris. And you could put up to like a 4-year-old in it. You and your baby could just go hiking through all the trails of Austin. Anyway, so y'all go shopping this week? I didn't go shopping, so I don't have anything to talk about. I haven't been shopping in weeks.
That's impressive.
Weeks.
It is impressive. Yeah.
And then somebody on my video still said it looks like a hoarder lives here, and I'm like, damn it!
Oh.
I can't win.
Can Malcolm breathe back there? I think his head is covered.
I'm out.
Is he in trouble? Is he hiding in the corner?
Did you see Jessica Murphy got a Malcolm, but she said her name was Zena, and she was gonna put her out by the curb. I don't know why she would do that. You can sell them for $60.
Yeah.
But I think I saw hers had like some damage to its neck, like holes. But all you gotta do is put a necklace on it, it'd be fine.
Right?
Thank you again, Tanya. My husband kept trying to steal that hat over and over and over again, but he's like, it doesn't fit me. It doesn't fit me well. I'm like, because it's made for a giraffe. So did you go shopping, Tanya?
Of course. I have a couple things to show y'all. So I picked up this Rolls Royce, and it came in this nice box. I paid $4.99 for it, and it's like a paperweight, but I think it's like an airplane engine. I don't.
Oh.
Wow.
Can you see it?
Why do I get really close? I'm gonna get it. Like, let me see. Wait.
Let's see. But yeah, I can't find anything on it anywhere.
Rolls Royce paperweight.
Yeah, so
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably going to do an auction since I really don't know the value and just start it high and see what happens.
Did you search like laser etching? Because
I
isn't
did
that what
not.
that's called? The laser etching? When they do that inside of a...
I will. That's good keywords.
I think that's what that's called. I might be wrong, but...
Also, I got these 2 little Furla bag. No, not, yeah, Furla. And they were only $4.99 each at Goodwill.
How do you...
One's called Furla.
Well, Furla to you too, Tanya.
But they're called candy bags. Furla candy bags.
Whoa, those things are crazy.
They're really cute. Hang on, I'm trying to look it up.
I know Madeline wanted to keep one.
Oh, nice. Okay, hang on. Let me get into the pre-owns and I'll go ahead and share so we can all look. Those would be easy to spot.
Yeah, well,
I don't look at bags because there's just too many of them and you just can't really tell.
And I don't either. When I walked in the door, it was just like looking at me right there. And the pink, I saw the pink one at first, and then I got to looking a little bit more, and I found a blue one just like it.
Wow.
So
Look
this
at
one
that.
has,
Okay. And you said those ones are called candy bags?
Candy bag. They're like
Okay.
a jelly, like they're kind of transparent.
Look, there's a blue one, $102, and that's used. Oh, wait, hang on. I was on the used.
There's a lot of like, I don't know if,
75.
fingerprints or like smudges. I'm not sure how I'm going to clean that. I have to.
Wow, that's definitely something to watch. Those would be so easy to see, like on a rack.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, got to get them cleaned up and listed.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anything else? You have to make up for the fact that I haven't been shopping.
Okay, well I can't show you something else.
Okay.
So in this box, I spent like $27 on all this Mary Kay. They're like lip liner. They're eye pencils, and they're all brand new sealed, and I paid 99 cents each. And I'm hoping to flip them for a minimum of $14.99 each.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Fun. Good stuff.
What about you, April?
Today at Goodwill, I picked up a pair of loudmouth golf shorts, and that was my first time ever finding that brand.
Ooh, I almost hit the stop broadcast button. That would have been awful.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Yesterday, I walked into Salvation Army, and waiting for me on the shelf was a under cabinet can opener, Black & Decker. Nice. It was new, but the box was kind of beat up, so I'm going to FBA that.
Sweet.
Okay, so for the loudmouth shorts, if you're not familiar with those, they're really easy to recognize as well because they are loud and proud.
Oh, I like them.
Yeah, look at those. That's a set of 3, sold for $125.
I've never heard of this brand.
Used. I'm talking about used. I've heard about them before too, and I think I actually have a pair, or did have a pair in one of those totes. That I have 2 totes of clothing, and I think I have a pair because they were just so easy to see on the rack. Like you just can't. How do you miss that? Like. Why are the girls' shorts so much shorter than the boys? Look how short those are. Those are booty shorts.
Yes, they are.
And these are like knee shorts.
Mine were like yellow and green plaid, which they're not going to do great. I'll probably get like $50 for them tops, but still a nice find.
Yeah, those are really easy to see. That's for sure. That's loudmouth golf. So... Well, I haven't been shopping. What I was doing while I was listing over the last couple weeks is I was shopping my own backstock. So I cherry-picked some items back there. I listed that Paulette bear that I bought when I was here, when Chad and Kim were here. And I put that up for $199 because the last one that sold was 2 years ago and it sold for $187.
Wow.
So, and then there was some that sold back in 2012 and 2013 that had sold for like 87 and 125. So I went ahead and went based off of the fact that there were none, haven't been any in a couple years. I put it for $199 or best offer, and I'd take anything. Give me $50. You can have it. I don't remember what I paid. I paid $498 for it. Something like that. And then I listed that Ronco machine that I actually bought when Chad and Kim were here as well. I paid $9 for that. I have it listed for $99. And I listed that Pokemon something stuffed animal I bought, and I paid way too much for it. I paid like $12.99. It was a lot for a stuffed animal. But I have it listed for $99, and I'll take $40 up for it. What else did I list? That day, I know when I was listing, I listed all of that duct tape that I bought, and then I listed $400 worth of stuff, and it was only like 5 items, so they were all pretty much up there. Matt is in the chat. T-Rex Treasures. He bought a hat from me. Matt, are you wearing your hat? I need pictures of you in the hat you bought, or did you give it as a gift? I want to see it. It's the one that was the Lacoste, but it was actually 2 alligators like romanticizing. So I couldn't like not buy. How do you not buy?
Yeah, I would have had to have bought it too.
A knockoff Lacoste with 2 like gators, like
Romanticizing.
romanticizing. So.
Wow.
But I can't wait. I cannot wait until I get to actually like go like shopping. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so awesome. What was I gonna ask? Shanna Potter says Malcolm and Xena need to get together. Xena was the one that Jessica Murphy had posted. Her, I guess hers is a girl. Okay. What do we normally talk about when we haven't had a show in 2 weeks, and I feel like I don't even know what we talk about anymore. We talk about what we bought.
Our good sales.
Oh, our good sales. Okay, so we got 2 weeks. So find some good sales over 2 weeks.
I'm ready. I can go with this one.
Okay.
I sold a Sony Handycam for $71.99. I also sold a vintage tape recorder. It was called a Talkboy from the Home Alone 2 movie.
Oh, yeah.
My kids are watching that movie right now.
I sold for $56, and it was like $3 at Goodwill.
Okay, hang on. How much did you sell it for?
$55 plus shipping.
It was used?
Yes, very used. The battery compartment was actually corroded, and I had to clean it, so that's why it took me a while to get it listed.
Okay, hang on. I want to share so people can see what that looks like. So this is a Talkboy. And look how this one sold for $29.99, free shipping, and that's just because that's what they asked for.
Absolutely. No reason to do that. Don't do that.
No. Yep. That's a auction gone wrong.
Oh, yeah.
This is a vintage. Hang on.
I've never seen one of those.
I wanted to see why it says Talkboy plus a pin, because all I see is a pin. Anyway. Oh, here's one that went for $225.
I guess this is one
that's an auction gone wrong.
I mean, you can FBA these things, but
I wouldn't.
I don't like to FBA used electronics, especially the vintage stuff, because eBay is just a much, much safer route to go.
Yeah, you have the tendency of getting caught in the, it doesn't work or there's an issue, and the way that Amazon works is, I mean, your odds of them just refunding your buyer, you know, and saying, you know, it doesn't work. I mean, they're not going to take your side at all.
Never.
Amazon doesn't take they're just not going to. People talk, and that's one of the things that April's going to talk about today on myths, you know, about eBay doesn't take your side. You want to talk about don't take your side? When it comes to buyer and seller relations, it's Amazon's not going to take your side. If you have a debate between Amazon and you, okay, that you can win. But if it's between you and a customer, your odds of winning are pretty low. It happens, but your chances are way lower.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, because they're definitely about the customer. FBA, it's about the customer. It's not about the seller. All right. What about you, Tanya? You have any really great sales in the last 2 weeks?
I've been selling some audiobooks I bought called Fablehaven. Can you see it? And I bought like, gosh, six or eight of these at Goodwill. They were like, all of them were only $2.99 each. And I sold a couple of them last week on eBay. One for like $59, and I think one for $30. So, and they're just, I guess they're some kind of fiction audiobooks.
Yeah, because it looks like the actual book doesn't sell, but you have the audiobook.
Yeah, I bought all the audiobooks.
Oh, and those sell for way better.
Yeah.
Than just the book. Like the books aren't selling for even $5.
Right.
Here, let me share. I can see, there they are. So these are the audiobooks.
Oh, look, there's mine right there.
This one?
I think that one and the second one.
And this one? Yeah. And see 27, 18, 35. But then if you look at just the regular like books, it didn't $3.98.
Right.
Didn't sell for $7.
People don't read anymore.
Yeah.
They do too. Oh, okay. So you know, if any of you guys have watched eBay's and Bacon, I was talking about the book that I've been listening to, the You Are a Badass. And yesterday I got my You're a Badass button came.
That is so cool.
And it says,
do what you love. You create your reality. Feed fear a suck it sandwich. You are a badass.
there you go.
Oh my God, I want one.
Do it!
Anyway, it was only $6, and then you got the little mini book too that like comes with it, in case you need like pocket badass, I guess. I don't. And it's just like little
Portable
small
badass.
excerpts of like but I just thought this book was great. It's really good for me to listen to before I go to sleep. And I bought the book, like the actual ebook, on Amazon because I had been borrowing it from Hoopla. And then I went ahead and like bought the book, and then for $3.99 I could add the audio narration, which is the ebook. You know, like it's the same thing. And but it didn't go through for some reason, so I gotta add it again. Kathleen was asking if your audiobooks were used, Tanya. Oh, you said yes. You're muted.
Sorry, the dogs were barking.
Oh, that's okay.
They were all used.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I could talk about my sales, huh?
Yes.
Or did you have any more sales? Are you?
Me? Oh, yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. Let me bring mine up. I've been selling a whole bunch of smalls, and that's just because that's kind of what I have listed right now. I put my store on sale over the weekend, and I put everything that was over $30 on sale, and I only had 50 items that were over $30. And my active listings are over 400. So that means that 75% of my store is, no, less than that. I mean, more than that.
You're so good with math, Deb.
Like, that means like a whole bunch of my store is actually like less than $30. Let's see, if I have 408, what is that, 82% or something like that? 82% of my store is smalls. But that's going to change when my new business model comes into effect. So
Smalls
I can't
add
wait.
up.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited. It's going to be awesome. I just know it. Like, I already know it. It's going to be, I'm going to have, like, so much money. I'm just going to be, like, buying y'all presents. And
Yay!
you're like, awesome! Go business model!
You can buy us a badass button.
Yes.
Get you, badass buttons for everybody! So a lot of my sales have been just, I'm talking like smalls, less than $20, most of them. I did sell a couple things. I already talked about that, I think, last time. No, I didn't. Where did I talk about that? I guess I talked about that I bought them. Maybe that's what I talked about. Okay, so I know I talked on the show about when I bought these, and they sold pretty much right away. Those are solo boots.
Oh, yeah.
They got cleaned up. Patrick cleaned them up for me, so they weren't looking too bad. And the soles are all cleaned off. They went on best offer for... Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. They went on best offer for, I think, $70, something like that. And I paid $12.99 for them. So it's a really good brand to pick up. They're definitely one of those you call a BOLO. A-S-O-L-O. And then I sold the Westinghouse coffee maker, and it went for $40 in best offer. I paid $6.99 for it. And then these shoes I've had forever. It seems like forever. It actually hasn't been that long, but I felt like it was forever. It's probably been 6 months or more. They're just really kind of little funky European platforms, so they're like really tall and flat. Anyway, those went on best offer for, let's see, $45 plus shipping. And the coffee maker went for $40, and the solos went for $77. It was kind of a weird offer for $77, because normally when people make you an offer that's kind of a strange price, you assume that it's because they're trying to get the shipping and then the price to be like a certain, oh, nice, I want to pay $90. No, but their total came out to like $88.43 or something. I'm like, I don't know what they were offering me, but whatever. I was happy to take it. I didn't mind that offer at all. So.
Deb, what brand were the shoes, those sandals?
They were it's a weird name. It's Mista, I think, but it's M-I-I-S-T-A. And if you look that brand up, they just have really wonky shoes. Here, let me show you. See, aren't they they're just all kind of weird. You know, they're just different type, you know. They're not traditional, that's for certain.
They would probably stick out.
Yeah, they do stick out. That's why I bought them, because they stuck out. The price that I put on them, that was just I pulled that price out of the sky. Because they don't really sell that great. Like, it's so back and forth, you know, on is it worth it and is it not worth it. See, there's mine. That you just don't, I just couldn't, I don't know. I just kind of pulled the price out of the sky. I just made it up. Those are weird boots. Look at those.
Yeah, I saw some with a green hill a second ago.
Look at these. Holy cow. Those are different. Why does it say they're new in the box? They don't look new in the box to me. They're all damaged. Anyway. So those were my little measly sales. This month has been pretty slow. My month of June is sitting at only, let's see, 41 sales, and I'm only at $925 for all the month of June so far. It's like really, really slow.
I feel discouraged because a week ago I was like, oh my God, sales are awesome. And I swear to you, I haven't sold a single thing since I said that.
My first week of June hit it out the park.
Yeah.
It was just like boom. It was I think I did like $600 or something. And then like after that, me being at 900 means that for the last 2 weeks, I only made like 3 something in sales because I was at 600 the first week or something like that. Like it was crazy.
Same here.
Yeah. But if you guys haven't noticed, I've been talking about it a lot recently. If you're not in the seller hub, here's one of the really good reasons to be in the hub is it tells you about your sales, but if you go down further, it's going to tell you where you're sitting compared to your market. And so it says that's quite a bit. I'm down 45% over my previous 31 days, and compared to the market of the categories that I'm listed in, where most of my items are listed, I'm down way down below the market. And then, but you can see where I'm at compared to where I was a year ago. I'm up 35%. I don't know what I was doing last June. Apparently, I was just like, I stopped working or something. I don't know what happened. So, it's kind of comforting if you can look at that, because I had some people post over in the $1,500 room that while their sales were down 8%, the market was actually down 25%. So they were faring fairly well, compared to where the market was at, in the men's clothing category or, whatever. And I think that's really important to be able to see those numbers, because it can be kind of comforting whenever you're sitting there going, man, things are so slow. And then to see that, well, the whole market is down, 30% and you're only down 12%.
I just opted back into Seller Hub based on your recommendation, and apparently I'm only down 2%.
That's good.
I know.
It's good to look at those numbers. It's good to see something concrete. And, because when I had to do eBay radio, I went back and because they were asking me to do a follow-up. So I was like, oh, well, let me look at last year's numbers, and then let me look at the numbers the year prior, and do a comparison. And it was really good to see those numbers over those 3 years, because then I had an actual concrete evidence that sales went down $600, and then they went back up $600. So it was just showing over like 3 years that June was just slow. June was slow in 2014. It was slow in 2015. It's slow 2016. But that July gets better and August gets better consistently over the last 3 years. So, all right. So do you want to go ahead and get started on our topic?
It's about that time.
It's about that time. So April was very diligent and made a whole list of myths associated with selling on eBay. So I want you to go ahead and you take it away.
Me?
Yes.
I have to pull up the list.
Talk. So on
you. Okay. Well, my first one is something that I actually see in my Facebook group. Someone said that they were interested in selling on eBay, but they weren't sure that selling clothing was going to work out for them because the market is so saturated. And I see people saying this all the time. You can't make money selling clothing. The market is saturated. Well, sure, the market is saturated with Polo Ralph Lauren button-downs. So you're not going to make money if you sell those type of things. But
you mean I can't run out and get Tommy Bahama? No?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend it. The only way you're going to do well selling clothing on eBay is selling items that are not common. And if you sell things that are interesting, unique, super desirable, you're going to do pretty well.
Yep, it's like that with any category. You know, when people say, "Oh, can I sell, you know, this?" Well, yeah, you can sell anything you want to sell, but you need to be, you know, in particular categories, but you need to be specific about the items you're picking up. I think it's really important for people to go through and see, like, if you just search like Ralph Lauren long sleeve button up, you're gonna come up with what, 30,000 results.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like maybe you are going to have to expand, or you're going to have to learn another way to sell those items, like, for instance, putting them into lots and selling 5 shirts in one lot. That's a really good way of getting rid of items that are in an oversaturated market, is lotting it up. Would you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I'll do that with even mid-tier brands like Brooks Brothers button-down shirts or Charles Twitt, like anything. Actually, if I find them in a lot, I'm going to sell them in a lot, because if they're the same size, similar condition, then they were obviously donated by the same person, and it's just less work for me. You give a small bulk discount, and you have a much better chance of moving those pretty fast.
Yeah, I've seen that recommendation multiple times before when people were talking about, you know, things that I have all of these, you know, pearl snap shirts and I can't get rid of them. Well, you know, if they're the same size, put them together in a lot of 3 or a lot of 5 and sell them for $100 instead of trying to sell one shirt for 20.
Mm-hmm. It's less work, more money.
That's my plan. I think it's a great plan.
I've sold a big lot of Ralph Lauren shirts for about $350. I forget how many there were. It was a couple of years ago. But yeah,
That's awesome.
I wasn't going to individually sell them. I just put them all together and just blew it out.
That's amazing. That's a good way to do it.
You know, and honestly, sometimes clothing brands will slip into that place where they just work better as a lot because the market becomes saturated. A good example of that is Zegna, which used to be a very highly desirable, easy to sell brand, and it's just not anymore. So I only pick it up if I can get like 3 or 4 shirts and sell them in a lot, whereas you used to be able to sell a shirt for $30, but that time is come and gone. So that's the other thing about selling clothing, is you have to stay current and realize what the market is doing. If all of a sudden your sales come to a screeching halt, there's a good chance that you need to look at what you're selling and how you're selling it.
Yeah, it's important. I think, you know, just like you said, it's important to be adaptable and know the market that you're in and know that things change over time. And they go back and forth. Sometimes things come back. I think because other sellers go, these are crap, and then they don't sell them anymore, and then the market goes back.
Yep.
So another thing that you were going to bring up was about that clothing is a bad category to sell in because of the high rate of returns. Why do you call that a myth?
I mean, that's the other thing that I see a lot, and I've seen it in my personal Facebook group. People think that there's just these astronomical return rates on clothing. Looking over not my seller hub, because I just opted into that, but the old seller portal on eBay, my return rate last year was like 4%, 4.5%, which isn't that bad because I sold over 1,000 items. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for clothing. Yeah, like for instance, for me, talking on the topic of like things that used to be profitable and aren't anymore, you know, something that I used to consistently pick up and had no problems getting rid of were Skechers shape-ups.
Yeah.
I used to be able to buy those things and I could sell them for $29, $39. And then if you look at the market now on them, it's like, don't do it. Because they're getting sold at just really low prices that it just makes it where you'd have a hard time getting your price that you want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can wait it out, and I want to talk about that in a minute, but you're definitely going to be holding on to them for a longer period of time than you used to, because it used to be much easier to sell those.
SAS shoes are another one that fit into that brand. You used to be able to get $40 for SAS shoes, and that market, the bottom's just falling out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's important to go back and look at those things, because I've done that before where I either stopped buying something and didn't realize the market came back, you know, or I kept buying something that I didn't realize the market had just dropped out of, you know, because I hadn't found one in 6 months and I went ahead and threw it in my cart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Okay, next one was eBay always sides with the buyers and sellers are gonna get screwed all of the time. I totally disagree with that. I don't like calling eBay. But I think sometimes with sellers, they don't know just how to take one for the team. That it's just not always going to go your way, and sometimes life just doesn't work out like that. You know, that, like, okay, I have a negative feedback, or, yeah, a neutral or negative, I can't remember which one, from a pair of pants that the person says was too small. But the size was there, and the measurement was there, so it just was too small for her. And she wanted to do a return, and I went ahead and just issued her a refund for the amount that she would have, the amount she paid minus the shipping she would have paid to return them, because it was a doesn't fit return. So she was going to pay $3 and something to return them. So I just issued her a refund minus the shipping and just said, just keep them. You don't even have to send them back, and here's your refund. So that way you don't have to even bother going to the post office. And then she gave me negative. And so when I was on the phone anyway for a defect removal, which did get removed, and I asked about the negative, and they said, well, you know, you just have to ask the customer to revise it. And I was like, yeah, but they left me the negative after I refunded them. You know, so they're not going to revise it. I had already resolved their problem. I think the thing that I do wish eBay would change a little bit in being consistent with Amazon's feedback policy is that whenever something, I wish that it would be a little bit more on the side of, if it's a product review, it wasn't a seller feedback. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so, like, in this particular issue with them, I did all that I could do, and they were probably fine with my service I provided, but they left a feedback about the pants. You know what I mean? Does that? And so that's so kind of, I wish they would, when they're looking at the feedbacks that are left, that they saw it as more of a product review like Amazon does, as opposed to a seller issue. You know, because I resolved the issue. She just wanted to leave a feedback about the pants being small. And I know now they're doing reviews, so I don't know if that's going to change. Do you think maybe that might change now that they've implemented that review a product thing?
Maybe. Who knows?
Never know. But how do you feel, Tanya, about the eBay siding with the buyers, or that idea that is out there that eBay is always siding with the buyer and they're not going to protect you?
Well, you know, just last week I had that issue with that Furby, right? So I think I told y'all last week that lady had sent me a best offer, and I looked at it on my phone, and I didn't realize in the terms she specified free shipping. And I was already selling it for pretty cheap, I thought, or the offer. And so we realized there was a mistake, or I did, and she said she was cool with it. That was back in April. Well, then in June, she decided to leave me a negative feedback. So I immediately got on the phone with eBay, and they sided with me. And within minutes, they removed the negative feedback. So I was really happy.
Yep.
I'm pleased with their service.
All right, let's see. What do we got next on the list? It says, fees are too high. I won't make any money. And that's when I hear about Amazon a lot. Fees are too high. I will not make any money. They're fee-bay.
Deb, do you remember a week or two ago I sent you a screenshot? I was reading some forum and some person was like livid that they had been charged $5.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that. They were like, oh, like they had gotten just totally janked over because they had to pay the fee to sell something.
I hear this a lot from the old school eBay sellers, people who no longer sell on eBay, or people who just kind of want to sell their things on the side. It's not a business. But if you're trying to run a legitimate business, I mean, you have to pay these people their portion for letting you sell on their site.
I hear that a lot when people are like, I want to start my own website. And it's like, okay, how much money are you going to put into advertising that website? And how are you going to get customers? And where are they going to come from? And are you really good at doing marketing? Because that's not free. So unless you're really good at doing it yourself, you know.
I mean, it's really cheap if you think about it for what you're getting in return.
Mm-hmm. It is cheap, and that's what I used to tell people about Amazon. They're like, oh, the FBA fees are so high. And I'm like, but it's including shipping in the price. You know, like, if you took your fees on eBay and you put the shipping in there, it's the same. And they're just, I don't know, it's just this fight that, well, I want it both ways, and then they find these websites that don't charge fees. Like I was discussing this before about different little websites that are out there that will sync with your eBay and they don't charge you any fees, right? And it's like, but how many sales have you gotten from there? Okay, so this is a company that actually has a marketing department that has web developers and obviously people that work this website, and you're not selling anything on there. Where would just one person come? Because I used to have my own e-commerce. What are you doing? You can't dig the floor. Sorry. Like I used to have my own e-commerce site way back in 2002, and I didn't even know where people were coming from. I didn't know anything about advertising or anything. And to try to set up your own website and get the amount of advertising you get from eBay and Amazon that your products are available to millions and millions of people worldwide,
Mm-hmm.
I will pay my 9%, okay? Like, because there's just no way.
I hear that more in real life than I hear it online and Facebook and the groups. Like I don't hear people complain so much about the fees in the groups, but when you meet people out and about and you tell them you sell on eBay, it's always, oh, I used to, but the fees are just so high. And
And I'm like, where are you gonna sell it at then? Like, you're gonna put it on Craigslist and meet up with Sketchy Joe over in an alley and try to sell it over there? Like, all right, let's see what's next. eBay and PayPal do not offer enough protections. Buyers get to keep the item and file a PayPal chargeback.
misconception.
Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. But it is not rampant.
No, or likely.
Like the average of it happening to you is you might have it happen one time where you sold something and you got scammed over, right? The person kept it, they filed a chargeback, whatever, you tried to fight it, didn't work. But it might happen once, but it's not going to happen to you 40 times a year. I see a lot of people that have one thing happen to them, and they will change their entire business practice. They have one buyer who messes them over, and now they won't do returns. they have one package that doesn't get scanned in at the post office and it doesn't show up. So every day they'll go to the post office and stand in line.
I know.
You know, it's like they have one that got messed up and they'll change their entire thing. You know, and it's like, you can't let one thing. It's like, what's that quote? If you get a flat tire, you don't go out there and flatten the other three. You just, you know, anyway. I don't know how that goes.
I've never heard this quote.
Really? I gotta look it up. Let me say it right.
And just to follow up on that point about eBay and PayPal protections, for the most part, PayPal just wants the tracking. 85% of the time, you give PayPal tracking information, whether or not they pay them out of their pocket, who cares? But 85% of the time, they're going to release your funds if you provide tracking.
Yep. And I think it's good. I mean, as a buyer, because I bought 2 phones recently, they got paid through PayPal, and one of them works fine, and then the other one errored out and said that some unauthorized something is loaded on it, and the phone is locked, and I needed to contact my service provider. So I went over to T-Mobile, and they're like, we don't know what this is. You know, you need to return this. So I contacted the seller and was like, hey, this is what's happening. And they're like, okay, I can replace it for you. No problem. I'm like, okay, cool. But I had a lot of comfort in knowing I paid for it with PayPal. And if he didn't want to fix it for me and said, well, you did something to it, you know, didn't want to replace it, that I could contact PayPal and said, here, look, here's the correspondence with this man, and I paid for this, and it doesn't work. And I want my money back.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's ignorant to think that that buyers don't want that comfort from the seller. You know, like, we want it both ways for some reason. There's sellers that want it both ways. They want it to be where, okay, the customer can't return something and they can't get their money back if they feel wronged, but if I'm buying it, I want to make sure that I can get my money back if I feel like I was wronged. You know, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, can't have it both ways. Let's see. I was trying to read the chat. My objection to Amazon is how they let people return new merchandise after they've opened it. That's every store.
Mm-hmm.
I get to return anything I open anywhere.
That's true.
If I go and I buy something and I put it together and I say, I don't like the way this looks, it doesn't fit in my room, I can take it and put it in my car and take it right back over to Bed Bath & Beyond,
Mm-hmm.
or Walmart, or Target, or anywhere else. I think the only reason why people get upset is because they're the seller. But Amazon's not conducting any other different type of business than any other business out there.
That's so true. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. My phone is ringing. April, can you do the list?
Sure. The next one on our list is buyers can leave feedback for any reason, and I have no recourse. Which, as Deb mentioned earlier, isn't necessarily the case on eBay. It's a lot easier to get feedback removed on Amazon because most things are either a product review, or if Amazon's handling the fulfillment and the customer mentions anything about the fulfillment experience, Amazon will usually strike that. So it's a little more difficult than that on eBay, but if eBay can see that you made an effort, and always be very careful in the way you communicate with buyers via messages, because they will check those.
Exactly.
You can go ahead and talk about this because you just went through something like this recently.
Well, yeah. Again, with the whole Furby thing. I mean, they're called Furbies, right? I'm like drawing a blank. Furby, right?
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, whenever I was speaking with the customer representative, they were like, "Well, we can see here in your messages, that you did everything right, blah blah blah." So it definitely, pays off to be nice to them. There's no reason to take it personal. Just they'll work with you.
And sometimes you might just have to live with it. Like I have a negative. A guy bought a couple of Brooks Brothers ties. It was like a $20 sale. He wasn't happy. I offered him a full refund. He really, really wanted me to have that negative. So what are you
Some
gonna
people
do?
just do. Some people feel vindicated if they get to say, and it was too small. I thought it was gonna be big.
Yeah, just let it be. My 12-year-old said the most profound thing to me probably about a year ago when I was all bent out of shape over a feedback. He was like, "Well, Mom, you can't keep perfect feedback forever." And for some reason, coming from a 12-year-old, I was like, "Huh."
Yeah, there's some of the biggest, best businesses. You can, what are considered the most amazing restaurants in the world. And if you go look at their reviews, there's somebody talking about their potatoes were undercooked and they took too long to bring my water, and the waitress looked at me funny. And you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be the world's greatest this and this, and somebody's talking about how unhappy they were with it. It's just,
Hmm.
you can't please everybody. You can't.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Another one. Did you talk about the I'll lose money on shipping?
No, we didn't get to that one, so go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so another thing that we hear a lot about is shipping costs, and I'm going to lose money on shipping and shipping this and that. How do you feel about that, Tanya?
Well, I don't feel like I'm ever losing any money because I always research the items before I sell them. And if I do free shipping, I make room for that in whatever my asking price is. And sometimes you have to ask for shipping. Like if it's a coffee mug, I'm not going to usually do free shipping on that because those little suckers cost a lot of money to send sometimes.
Hmm.
So,
I think things with coffee cups and items like that, I almost feel like over the years, as coffee cups has been kind of one of the things that people try to sell, that maybe in their quest to try to get rid of them, they have made the pricing unrealistic on shipping on a coffee cup. I mean, it's going to ship 2 pounds. Unless you got one of those
right.
teacups that's just not heavy, it's going to ship 2 pounds, and there just really isn't any way around it. If it's going to California, it's $9.
Yep.
I mean, and I think that I almost want to put the responsibility on the sellers at making it so unrealistic. It's one of those things that I wish everybody charged shipping instead of putting the shipping into the price and make it free shipping, just so the buyers get that real understanding that it's $8. It's just gonna be $8. It's gonna, because they just have this really unrealistic idea that, oh well, since it's just a cup, it shouldn't cost that much.
Right.
But they do. They're 2 pounds. There's just no way around it. It's 2 pounds.
Yep.
Hmm.
I mean, you can FOMO them if you want. I stopped doing that a long time ago just because of time constraints. It just totally wasn't my time, worth 15 minutes constructing this box, to save $2 or whatever. It's just, if you want the cup, you'll pay for it, or if you don't, then you can buy it from somebody else. I mean, and that's the topic that I wanted to bring up too on the, I hear a lot of people talking about like setting their prices and feeling like they have to drop the price and drop the price and drop the price. And I really feel like, if you have it priced where you want it, eventually that buyer is going to come along and buy it. They're going to give you the price that you're looking for. you just have to wait. If you have an item that there's just not a lot of, you're going to get your price. And it won't even be about, oh, well, the other sellers are, priced comparatively to me. I've had items that there are other people that are selling them, and I'm $20 more than everybody else, but I still sold mine. The reasons will come into play. It has a lot to do with all kinds of different reasons. Sometimes people just feel more comfortable with your feedback, or they feel like you're a more established seller and that maybe you're more reliable. I know when I'm buying things, I try to buy it based off of reliability. And because I want it. I want it then. I don't want to turn around in 2 weeks and be like, where is my thing? So I try to base my purchases off of reliability, and I'll totally pay extra. I'm not saying $40 extra, but I'll totally pay extra just to make sure, hey, this guy's going to ship it priority mail. If you've got your listing set up as parcel post, I won't even buy from you because I think that you're not a very good seller in general because you're not paying attention to what shipping is at the current time. Like, to me, that's just like, that's a seller that's stuck and they haven't even done like current pricing research. So you're going to give me the slowest shipping and make me pay more than priority mail. That's great. I feel really confident in this transaction.
Everything in my store has priority shipping. I don't even do first class anymore.
Oh, I do first class. I mean, if I can get away with first class, I totally do first class. But one thing I did stop doing that I used to do. Okay, I used to do where I would offer Smart Post as an option, and then I would offer priority if they wanted to upgrade. Now what I do is I put Smart Post as the shipping price, as the first, because whichever one you put first is the one that's going to display. And then the customer's going to have to actually click on shipping if they're going to see the other ones. So I started putting priority mail first, and then if they want to click on shipping and see if there's a lower shipping price, I'll put Smart Post as the other option, and then they can select it from there. I think that's really helped a lot with people that weren't paying attention and thought that was the only option, or so I've changed up that practice in the last couple of weeks. So if they really are price concerned, they can pay the cheaper rate for the slower service, or it'll just be priority up there. We hit 1. It's 1 o'clock. Is there another one of the little ones that you want to talk about?
No, the rest of them were just fillers.
Everything we say is important. You gotta hang on our every word.
I do want to share that I just sold a pair of Manolos to a person named Richard.
Okay. Maybe they're for his honey.
I hope so.
Or maybe they're for himself.
Things that make you stop and go, huh.
I got one of my first negative feedbacks came from Bushman Jack in Australia, and it was a pair of size 13 high heels, and he was upset that they had a broken heel. And I was like, I'm sorry, Bushman. You were disappointed in your heels. Unique Boutique has, have any of you had issues with having FedEx package and ship your items? I'm not sure what issues she's asking about. I've never had them pack anything for me. I only suggest them to do that if you have an item that's like highly breakable, because then they'll package it and they insure it because they packaged it. Then if it gets broken, then they're responsible no matter what because they packaged it for you and shipped it, and you didn't have anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, I don't see any other questions in the chat. I guess. Anybody else got anything to say? No.
No.
I feel really close to my camera today. I guess because I'm sitting really close. Malcolm's in my way. Get out of the way, Malcolm.
I am so happy that this show brought my sales back. I've sold 2 things since we've been on air, and previously I
Yay!
hadn't sold anything in like 3 days.
Oh,
So
that was
thank
just
you.
people that are probably going to buy them and leave you negative feedback just to show you that eBay. They're going to show
Oh
you. They're going to be like, eBay is not on your side, April. Watch. Watch.
no! Richard, don't return those shoes.
I heard you talking about me. I heard you. Road. Alrighty, well, I guess we're going to close out the show in 3 hours. I'm going to be at the airport picking up my kiddos. I had to buy concert tickets today for my daughter so she could go to concert. I think it'll be her first one. I don't think she's ever been to a concert before.
Which one is it?
21 Pilots.
I've
I
never
don't
heard
even
of
know
that.
that it
They
is.
sing that song that's on the radio. I'm sure you've heard it. It's my name's Furry Face and I care what you think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
See, I told you, you know. If we could turn back time to
Oh,
the good
yeah.
old days. Yeah. When our moms would say, yeah. Now we gotta get up, wake up, and get money. Okay.
14-year-olds.
I have a question about hiring help. Do you pay by the hour or percentage of your listings? I pay by the hour.
What do you
What were
pay?
you doing, April, when you had a helper?
It depends on the task. If they were over at the storage unit doing something like organizing some kind of task, I paid by the hour. But for listing, I paid per item.
Yeah. Patrick doesn't do listing for me, so I just pay him by the hour, which works fine for him and works fine for me. I think that he gets a ton of stuff done, so I don't even worry about it. If it was somebody that was, you know, slow on the go, I'd pay them by the item, but he's very productive. All right, I guess we're going to close out for today. But we will see you guys next week. We'll find something just as interesting to talk about because we're so good at coming up with topics. But thanks for coming and watching us, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.